Hi, I'm Erich Straub, and I'm an immigration attorney with Straub Immigration, and this is a follow-up video that focuses on deferred action and whether you can travel on deferred action and what you need to do that. So we had an earlier video that our firm did on deferred action, and if you don't know what deferred action is, or if you're curious as to whether you're eligible for that, I would encourage you to go back and look at that earlier video. This video deals with what the government updated us on in terms of travel when they released additional guidelines on August 3rd of 2012. Now, as we talk about travel, there are two very important points that I want you to keep in mind as you're listening to this video. And the first point is that we're talking about travel abroad. The second point is that deferred action in and of itself does not give you the ability to travel abroad. So even if you're granted deferred action, you're going to have to file a separate application for what we call advance parole and be given permission by the government to travel abroad. There's also something very important about this video that I want to emphasize, which is that it is for informational purposes only, and you do not have an attorney-client relationship with Straub Immigration by watching this video, because in order for you to have one, we would need to know the specific facts and circumstances regarding your case. And that is especially significant as it relates to travel abroad. One of the things that creates problems for persons who are applying for permanent residence or deferred action or for any benefit in the immigration system is when they travel abroad and come back into the United States. In many instances, they can severely complicate or even cause the denial of their application if they travel abroad and come back into the United States while an application is pending. So you really need to seek the advice of a competent immigration attorney before doing so. Now, we're talking about future travel in this video. So if you're watching this video and you're wondering whether your past travel may disqualify you from deferred action, there's another follow-up video where we're going to deal with that concept and the concept of continuous residence. So I encourage you to go watch that video. But this video is going to focus on future travel as you are applying for deferred action. So there are three basic principles that we're going to talk about in terms of future travel and the deferred action application process. And again, I want to re-emphasize that deferred action does not grant you the ability to travel abroad in and of itself. So you have to file the deferred action application to even be considered for future travel. Secondly, you cannot travel abroad while the application is pending. Third, you have to wait for it to be approved, and then there is a separate application process called advance parole that you're going to have to go through before the government approves your travel abroad. It's important to understand that not everyone who is granted deferred action is going to be eligible to travel abroad. And so the government has identified three specific circumstances under which persons who are granted deferred action are going to be able to travel abroad. And one of those is for humanitarian purposes. And the most common example of that is illness of a loved one abroad or the death of a family member where there is a necessity to travel abroad for that purpose. The other two circumstances where travel abroad would be approved would be for educational purposes or for employment purposes. So this has been a video that talks about deferred action and the ability of future travel under the deferred action program. And I just want to, again, restate that in any circumstance where I have someone who is not a U.S. citizen, I always advise my clients that they should consult with me before traveling abroad. And that is especially true in this deferred action process, because you may, by traveling abroad, unwittingly complicate or even cause the denial of your application. So for those reasons, it's very, very important that you seek the advice of a competent immigration attorney. At Straub Immigration, we have a reputation for achieving results in even the most difficult of cases. And whether your case turns out to be fairly straightforward or one of those difficult ones, I would welcome the opportunity to represent you.